Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Jennifer Biedermann Jewelry. And what we're doing today, we're going to be doing a beading tutorial, but we are going to be adding wire. And why are we doing that? Because, you know, when you make these components, they tend to be floppy and not much substance to them. They're beautiful, but then if you were to make this into a pendant, it's not very stiff. There are ways to make a component stiff for sure, but if you just want to do a flat, simple piece, you can add substance to that by just adding wire. I saw someone do this and I thought it was genius. So I decided to make a few pieces today. This one I used 11/0 delicas and some round silver beads. And I put silver wire around this one. And this one is 8/0 seed beads, so you can see the difference. So that's that. And for today's tutorial, I'm not going to be using silver beads because I want you to see the actual project. And we're going to go right to the material list. First of all, you don't have to be a wire wrapper or a wire weaver to know how to do this, okay? So here's your material list. First off, you're going to need some beading needles. I'm using a size 10 John James. You're going to need some beads. So I'm going to bring out my other mat here that I am going to talk about because I think this is a great little accessory mat to have on top of your beading mat. And before I go into material list, this is what it is. It's called a No More Oops Beads tray. I mentioned this in another video also, but I use this for my beading projects because it separates out my beads. And if you have a tutorial that says use color A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, it goes all the way up to I, but at least you can control and know where your beads are. And so if you have a pattern that uses a lot of different colors, this is the tray to use just to separate out your beads. Also, I use this tray because when you make piles on your beading mat, for me anyway, it tends to all get mixed in together, and then I have to pick them apart, all the colors, and put them back in their tubes. So this is a great way to keep your beads where they're supposed to be. And it's great because it doesn't move around in your beading mat, and you can just put it up to the side and you work here and you just pick out your beads. So No More Oops Beads tray. It's on Etsy, lakesidejewelry.etsy.com. The woman who makes this, her name is Darlene Fall, and I will put a link below because when you purchase her tray, she is going to be giving you a free beading pattern. And for January, the code to get that, when you buy the tray, to get the pattern is JBJ119. So let's get started on the material list for the component we're making. I'm going to be using size 11 seed beads. I won't be using delicas in this one, so I just chose two contrasting colors. I love the turquoise and the gold together. And I'm also, I'm going to be putting in these fire polish beads. These are like a bronzy color, 4mm. You will need some thread. Use thread of your choice. Because my base wire here is going to be copper, and I chose copper to go with my project, I'm just using a beading thread called, what's it called? Nozu Sunoco, and it's just like a beige color. Hopefully it'll hide away in my, on top of my wire. And cut yourself a length that you're comfortable working with. If you have to add, you'll just have to add it. 18 gauge dead soft wire. You can get this at any craft store. They sell wires, Michael's or wherever you get your crafts. Just get yourself some 18 gauge. And you will need some pliers also for this because we need to manipulate our wire. So you're going to need some chain nose pliers. You'll need some round nose because we'll be making a loop. I'm bringing out two chain nose pliers because I need to open and close my jump rings, and of course some cutters for your wires. And if you want to make a perfect circle, get yourself something like a dowel, a wooden dowel, or anything large enough to go around your piece. And that's it, I think, for now. If I'm missing anything, I'll let you know along the way. So get your materials together if you want to bead along with me, or I'll be right back and we'll get right started on the tutorial. Okay, be right back. Okay, so let's get started, and I promise for this tutorial I'm really going to try and stay in frame because I tend to not look at the camera and I'm just looking at my hands. So thanks for the comments to say I was totally out of frame because it helps me remember. All right, so I'm just going to make a simple component. I don't know the pattern for it. I just pick up some beads and go with the flow. So to start this component, I'm going to pick up 4 of my gold beads, size 11. I'm going to bring it down to the end of my thread, leaving myself a little bit of a tail. I won't be weaving this in after, so I'm just going to, a short tail, just something to hang on to. And what I want to do is sew back through all 4 beads. I'm creating a little circle, and it is going to be fiddly at first, as I always say when we start a new beading project, because we don't have a lot to grab onto. Make yourself a little knot. And another little knot. Okay, all right. So now we have this. So I want to get away from my knot, so I'm going to sew through a bead. Now I'm going to stay with my gold. So what I'm doing is I'm coming out of a bead, I'm going to pick up a gold and go through the next bead. That bead will sit right between the two, pull. So now you have that, and then we're going to do that all the way around. So I'm picking up another bead, going through the next bead. This is going to build very quickly, so you'll have a lot more to, like I said, beads to hang on to. Coming out of that bead, going through the next bead, and pull. Now, this is what we have. I'm going to add another bead, and now we're going to go to a step up. So just let me hang on to this side. We're going to pick up the last bead of the round. We are going through the next bead and the next bead, step up. So now we've done 2 rounds. Now at this point, decide what you want to do with the colors, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking up my turquoise. So now we're starting a new round. And for this round, I'm picking up 2 turquoise. I'm coming out of this bead. I'm going directly through the next upper bead, like a peyote. So now I have this. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Pick up 2 of your secondary color, go through the next bead, skip a bead, go to the next bead. So now we have this, we're continuing. And now we're going to add the 2 last beads, ending our round, and then we're going to do our step up. So pick up the 2 turquoise, we're going out of this bead, we're skipping a bead, then we're going in our next gold bead, and then we will come up between the 2 turquoise, the first 2 that we added. So now we have this cute little thing. And we're going to keep building on that. So the next row, I'm going to decide what I want to do. So I think in this one, I'm going to pick up a turquoise. I'm coming out of this turquoise. I'm going to go right into the turquoise sitting next to it, so that bead will sit in between. And then over here, I'm picking up a gold bead, going up one turquoise, right, so I'm right in between, picking up a turquoise, going through the next turquoise, right next to it. Picking up a gold, going through my next turquoise, right in between. Pick up a turquoise, go through the next turquoise, picking up a gold, going into the next turquoise, picking up a turquoise, into the next turquoise, and now we have to put the last bead of our round, which is the gold, and now we need to step up. So gold, I'm going through the first turquoise and then that second turquoise that's sitting right in the middle of the two. So now I'm ready for a new round. Now this is what we have so far, and now we're going to decide what beads we'll pick up next. So let's see. I'm going to pick up a gold, go through my gold, pick up a gold, go through the next turquoise. So in this round, I'm only picking up gold. And again, I don't have a pattern of what colors I'm picking up. I'm just sort of looking at my piece. And I'm not going to pick up beads randomly, but I'm just going to, like I said, go with the flow and see what it looks like. And you really can't make a mistake as long as everything looks uniform. So you're just going through all your little upper beads that are sticking up. Gold. And then the next round, we need to increase, because if we don't, this is going to start looking, you cinch it up, it's going to start looking like a bowl. You don't want that. You want it to stay flat. Go through the turquoise. So I'm here, and I've done my round. Wait a second. No, I'm going to do my step up. So turquoise and up through the first gold that I put on. Okay, starting a new round. So now I want to do some increases here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build with my gold and my turquoise. Okay, so here I'm going to pick up 2 gold. I'm coming out of this gold, I'm going to skip the lower gold, and I'm going to go through the upper one. Just like that. And then, let me just double check here. The next upper bead is my turquoise. So I'm going to pick up a turquoise, go through that upper turquoise, careful not to go through the gold. Just like that. Coming out of lower turquoise, I'm going to pick up another turquoise and go through the gold. And now when I come out of the gold one, I'm picking up 2 gold. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around. going through that upper turquoise. I picked up a turquoise. Picking up a turquoise, going through the gold. Coming out of a gold, I'm going to pick up 2 golds. Going to be going into a turquoise, so I'm going to pick up a turquoise, 1. Coming out of a turquoise, going to pick up a turquoise, go up through that gold, and I'm coming around to the other end. We're going to get ready for a step up, but not just yet. We're going to pick up 2 gold, go through the gold. Now we're not finished the round, okay? We need to pick up a turquoise, go through the turquoise. Now we're going to pick up the last bead of the round, which is a turquoise. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up the first gold and the second one. So I'm going in between of those first 2 golds that I put on. I'm going in between those 2. Now let's look at our piece. It's looking uniform all the way around. Now I will, let's see. I'm going to go just with turquoise for the next round. So let me just get more turquoise. I love this bead mat because I just need to just take out a little bit, or you can actually go right in and pick them up. So here, I'm going to look at my piece. I'm not going to be doubling up my beads anywhere. There's not enough space. So now I'm just going to pop a bead into this corner, which is going to be my turquoise. And like I said, I'm going to stay with turquoise for this whole round. So now I've got that corner. I'm coming out of a gold, but I'm going to pick up a turquoise, and I'm going to go through every upper bead. So anything that goes down, I'm going to fill it in with a bead. Now, I just want to double check something here. Yeah, so now I'm picking up a turquoise, and I'm going to go up the upper gold, but in between, not going through both, because I want to put a turquoise in the corner. So in between, I'm going through the next gold. Going through the next turquoise, because that's my next upper bead. Picking up a turquoise, going through my next upper gold in between. That's the corner. Going through. Wait a second. Yes, I'm just going to continue. So going through the next gold. And you do that all the way around until we get to our step up. Now, this is my tail. I'm going to get it out of the way, and I have to concentrate to stay in frame. You can see what I'm doing. Next upper bead. Next upper bead, but that's the corner. I'm going between those 2 golds. Picking up a turquoise. Going through the next gold. And now I'm going to be coming up to the next corner, which is the first bead I put on for this round. going up. Now be careful because this is starting to get a little bit tight. Like for example, I'm coming out of this one. Maybe some beginners coming out of this one, you're going into there's a bottom bead here. So it looks like these two are right close together, but you need to get a bead in between there. Because just remember, go into your next upper bead. Now I'm finishing my round. I'm picking up the last bead of the round. I'm going through the upper gold, and then I'm going to go up that turquoise. That is the first bead I put on. So I'm going to come out of that one. So now we have this. So now we have to decide what we do next. So I'm going to look at it. And I think I only have room to put one bead per upper bead. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to see what color. I'm going to stick with the turquoise. I want this turquoise to really stand out. Actually, wait. Just a second. Okay, yeah, I'm going to pick up one bead. Because you could put two beads here if you wanted to. You know what? That's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick up two beads because I want you to, when you're making these on your own and you don't have a pattern, just look at the spots, okay? And here I do have enough room for two beads, so let's do that. Starting a new round, picking up two turquoise. I'm going to stay with turquoise for this round also. So now I've got these two beads sticking up in that corner. And I'm not going to be putting two beads, I'm only going to be putting the two beads in the corners. And then the rest, I'm just picking up one, going in the next upper bead. Picking up a turquoise, going in the next upper bead. Picking up a turquoise, going in the next upper bead. Wait a second. See now, before we continue, I put two beads here. This is my next corner. Sorry, I'm going to pick up two beads. I'm going to see what that looks like. Then we pick up one bead till we get to the next corner. Go through the next upper bead. The next upper bead. Now, because I'm using all the same color, it could get a little confusing as to where you are. So here are my two beads here. I want it to follow, so wait a second, two. I put two here, 1, 2. Pick up one here. It looks like it's the corner, but I want it to be exactly like the other side. And then here I'm going to take more of my turquoise, picking up two, going into the next upper turquoise, picking up a turquoise, going the next upper bead, turquoise, next upper bead, pick up two in my corner. Okay, so now the next side, it's just all one beads because I put the two there. And then one, and then because this was the first two beads I put on, now I'm going my step up. I'm not going to go in between these two beads. I'm going to go through the last bead of the round and then through the two beads there. Because those are the first two beads I added to the round. Okay, now we have this. So now I think I'm going to add some gold. You can make this as large as you want. Now it's starting to look square. I don't want it square, I want it to be round. So we're just going to play with our beads. So I'm going to get some gold and some turquoise. Now I'm going to just double check what I'm doing here. Okay, first two, I'm picking up 2 gold, I'm going into the next. The next one, I'm going to pick up a turquoise, go through the next upper bead. Here I'm going to pick up 2 golds, go into the next 2 beads because they're sitting right next to each other. I'm going to go through the 2. Manipulate your beads so they sit where they're supposed to sit. For this one, I'm going to pick up 2 gold. Ooh, that got tangled. Manipulate them so they sit there. All right, just looking, picking up a turquoise. Again, you can't make a mistake with this as long as it all looks symmetrical. Now, what happened here is I split my thread. And that's what happens when you don't use fire line. And when that happens, you take your needle off your thread, you pull that bead out, and you re-thread your needle. Now, if I can do this in one shot, I'll do it on camera. If not, I won't let you watch me struggle doing this. Whew, and I did it. Okay. So now I'm coming out, and I said I pick up a turquoise. Pick up 1 turquoise. Here, picked up 1. Right, pick up 1 turquoise. Here I'm going to pick up 2 gold. Go through the 2 turquoise here. It's in a corner. I'm going to start rounding this up soon. Now I have 2 gold here, 2 gold here. I went with my turquoise, 2 gold here. I'm going to go 2 gold. When I come out of 2 turquoise, before and after, I'm going to put 2 gold, if that makes sense. Turquoise, go through the next upper turquoise. I'm going to be going through these 2 turquoise, so I'm picking up 2 gold. And that just popped right in. Okay, here I'm coming out of 2 turquoise, I'm picking up 2 gold. Okay, and the next down this line is just one turquoise through the next one. Through the next one. Through the next one. Now I'm coming to the end of my round. I'm going to be picking up 2 gold, going through the turquoise. Okay, that was the start of our round. Now we're stepping up. So what I want you to do is go through these 2 golds. So this is going to be the start of our round. Now we're going to look at it and see what we're going to do. And what I am going to do is take a look at it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to start rounding this up. So what I'm going to do, I came out of these 2 gold here. This is the start of my round. I'm going to stick with my gold now, and I'm going to put a bead right next to it, go through the turquoise. Pick up another of the same color, go through these 2 gold that are sitting right there. Now I have a space here that I'm going to put 2 gold. Because if I put 1, it's going to start coming up. And we're going to go through these 2 gold right here. Pick up 1 gold. Go through the next turquoise. Go through the next upper bead. Go through the next turquoise. Gold. Go through the next 2 golds. Pick up 2 gold, go through the next 2 that are sitting side by side. Pick up a gold, go through the next turquoise. Pick up a gold, go through the next 2 that are sitting side by side. I'm in that little corner here. I'm picking up 2. Picking up 2 because my space is larger here. I'm going to go through the next 2. Pick up a gold. Go through the next turquoise. To the next. The next, pick up a gold, go through the next 2, and now we're coming to our step up. So we came out of we started coming out of these 2 golds here. So here I'm picking up 2 because there's a big space. I'm going to go through the 2 gold and step up that first gold that I put on. Okay. Here's our piece. Okay, now I'm going to change colors because we need to see what we're doing. Now here, coming out of this gold, I'm going to put 1 turquoise. Coming out of this gold, we have 2 lower beads here, And then we have these 2 golds sitting next to each other. I'm picking up 2 turquoise. And I'm going to go through the 2. I'm just going to see what that looks like. Because I think I may want to put 3. No, I'm going to stay like that. Okay. Now we're coming out of these 2. We have 2 lower beads here. So what I'll do is pick up 2 turquoise. And I'm going to go through the next upper gold. All right, starting to round up here. Turquoise, go to the next upper bead. Turquoise, go to the next upper bead. Turquoise, go through the next upper bead. Here we have 2, we're coming out of this gold, we have 2 lower beads. We're going to go pick up 2 and go through these 2 upper beads. So 2 turquoise, go through the next upper 2. And we'll do that all the way around. I have 2 lower beads here. So I'm going to pick up 2, go in the next upper bead. Pick up a turquoise, go in the next upper bead. Here we have 2 lower beads, so we're going to pick up 2 turquoise. Coming out of this one, 2 lower beads, going into the next 2 upper beads. I hope this all makes sense. Pick up 2 turquoise, 2 lower beads, we're going in the next 1 upper bead. Next upper bead. We're almost finished around, and we're going to be finishing up this component soon because the next row we're going to have a little bit of fun. Doing some Pecos. Going to the next upper bead now. We're almost done. I grab some more turquoise. Picking up 2 turquoise because I'm coming out here, 2 lower beads going in this 2 upper beads. Pick up the last 2 of the round. Skip these 2 lower beads. Go into the next gold. Step up into that turquoise. Okay, finish the round. I'm going to look at this, make sure it's all symmetrical, looks the same all the way around. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start making some Pecos. Okay, so I'm coming out of this turquoise. I'm going to pick up 3 gold, and I'm going to go through the next 2 beads. I'm just going to see what that looks like. If I don't like it, I can take it out. So I have that little picot happening here. I'm going to do another little picot. Again, because I have enough space. Go through the next 2 beads. Now over here, I'm just going to try and pick up 2 golds. It looks like it only have space for 1, but let's just fit that in there. Yep, that's fine. 2. 1 is the next one. Go through the next upper bead. Pick up 2 of the gold, go through the next upper bead. Let's see what that looks like. That's fine. Now we're at our little corner here, right? We have our 2 beads. I did a little picot here. So I'm going to follow that and do it over here. Because if I only put 2 there, it's going to look a little off when I'm done. So let's put 3. And when you put 3, it's just going to stick up. So you just have to manipulate it so it's sticking like that. The next spot, I'm putting 3. Going through these 2 beads. Over here, I'm going to pick up 2 gold, go through the next turquoise. Pick up 2 gold, go through the next 2 turquoise. Wait a second. No. Nope, nope, nope. Let's go out. Let's take those 2 beads off. Actually, don't take them off. Just go back through the turquoise. And I'm going to pick up a 3rd bead because I want a picot here. Go through that bead again. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I've got a picot. Now, so look what's happening. Picot, picot. Okay, now that I'm looking at this, it's looking a little off. So this is what designing is all about. Now I'm going to take these off. I'm going to take these off until I get to my the 2nd picot I put on, because you know what? I'm going to put a picot all the way around in every spot. Now I could edit this out, but I'm not going to, because I want you to see there's no perfection. When you see something you don't like, take it off. And that's what designing is all about. So let me rethread my needle. Got it on the first shot. Wow, I'm lucky. I'm going to do picots in every spot. Between every upper bead with gold. So 1, 2, 3. And you're not going to shove these in. You just want the beads sitting on top of each other like this. Do that all the way around. This is what's going to round up our piece. And then I'm going to put another picot here. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Another little picot there. One, 2, 3. In the next spot, go through the next 2 beads. When you see 2 beads sitting next to each other, just go through them. 1, 2, 3. Go through the next 2 beads because they're sitting next to each other. Don't pull too tight. See, this isn't sitting like a picot, but when I shove in 3 here, it's gonna make the other 3 stick up. 2, 3. Right. See? And 1, 2, 3. We're almost finished this piece, okay? So we won't be here for 3 days. I know it's a long video, but I want to go step by step. 1, 2, 3. Go through the next 2 because they're sitting next to each other. next upper bead. One, two, three. Go through the next upper bead. You know what this technique is called too, just so you know. Actually, I was just thinking about this because I do other things other than beading, and I would say this is called a mandala. A mandala is something, every row you do a little design. You know, when you're drawing, that's what it is. I think that's what I'm going to call it. This type of component, a mandala. Go through the next two beads. Now we're going to step up, right? So I'm putting these three beads. I'm going to put the last three beads now. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good. So the last three, step up, right? We're going to go into that next upper turquoise, right there. And then we're going to end up coming out of the top of this picot. So let's go through that turquoise. And now we're going to go at the top of the picot over here. Okay, coming to the end of the round. We're going to keep this simple. This is our component. Otherwise, it's going to get busy and really, really busy. So now what we need to do, let's cut off our tail. We don't need that. And our scissors. You can make a second one exactly like this, and you can make a pair of earrings. So let's cut off our tail. Leave the needle on, or thread your needle. Okay. We're done with the component. And we're going to put that aside. Okay, so let's get rid of our beads. Because I don't have a big pile of a mess on my actual mat, I will just put the leftover beads directly in my tray. And it'll be easy to put that back into my tubes. I'm going to put this aside. Now let's go to the frame we're going to make for this. Now, where is my okay? I cut myself a piece that's about 9 inches. You're not going to need all that for sure. Now, look at my dowel. If I put it right on top, it doesn't go all the way around. It does go all the way around, but we can see ones going up. But this is a good size. So, because when I wrap this around this dowel, it's going to expand. So what I'll do is I'm just going to wrap like this, and I'm going to wrap it like that. And now I'm just going to take it off. So now we have a little circle. It's a little bit too small, but we'll manipulate it to make it a little bit bigger. We just want a circle. Like that is fine for now. It'll adjust later. So here come in my pliers. I will take my pliers and bend this up. It doesn't have to be the exact length. And this is copper. It's not like it's sterling silver or anything. And then what I'll do, let me bend this up a little bit just to see where I'm at. still a bit too big. So what I'll do is I'm just going to keep that bend. I'm going to rebend that back. Try not to do what I just did, but just leave it like that. Because we don't have the exact size left. And now we're just going to sew this piece onto the wire. So I'm going to get this piece out of the way over here. That's in the back. We'll deal with that later. We're going to start. I like to sew going this way, which is counterclockwise. So I'm going to start, see this little corner here that I bent up? I'm coming out of a picot, right? And I'm just going to attach my thread. This is going to be fiddly at first, I promise you that. Okay, so I'm just going to attach my thread by just wrapping it around a couple of times. Hang on to your piece, hang on to your thread. Let me get my scissors out of the way. You can also use weaving wire, because your weaving wire will go through the beads. If you're using a weaving wire that's like 28 gauge. Okay. I've attached my thread. I'm going to go back. I came out of that top picot. I went around the wire. I'm going to go back through the top. And what I want to do is sew through my beads until I get to the next upper picot. So I can only do a few at a time. So, whoops. I'm in a very tight spot here, and this is fiddly. So just pull, not too tight, and get yourself up the picot. And we're going to be attaching the thread to the wire from each top picot. So I'm going to do a few with you here. So you don't want the circle, you don't want the circle too small. You want it kind of like this, exactly like this, just to give it a little bit of a give. And now I'm at the next picot. I'm just going to take my needle and go through the wire once and go under again to come back. So I'm just going around the wire twice. And then I'm going to go down the beads until I get to the upper picot. Pull. Not too tight to this upper picot. And this thread is pretty good. You can't really see it that much. I'm here. I've attached the two. I'll give it a little bit of a tug. Go around the wire twice. 1 and 2. Give it a little slight tug. Go down the beads until you get to the next upper picot. Okay, so let me do that all the way around. I'll do one more with you because this is like a really long video. It's all worth it. Upper picot, just hold your piece. It's starting to get a lot less fiddly because we have a few attached. Go down the beads. So I'm going to go through that one, through this one, and then up the picot. Okay. Now you want to let a little give here. This picot's not sitting the way it's supposed to. So manipulate it. You want to have a little give. Why? I'm going to show you this piece. Because if you don't, this is pretty tight. If you don't, it's not really laying flat. It's actually domed a little bit. But that's okay. They're 8 OC beads that'll stay up. But if they don't, if you push in, it could end up looking like that. So ease up on the tension, or the, the tension. So that's it. Let me go all the way around, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do at the end, so that this stays in a nice circle, because this one didn't stay in a nice circle, and I don't want that to happen to you. Okay, so let me do that. I'll be back. Isn't that pretty? Went all the way around. I didn't cut my thread yet, because what you're going to do with your leftover thread, like you would do it on any other piece, is weave in the ends. So I'm coming out of that picot, that top picot, and I'm going to go through my beads as usual, you know, tying off knots and going through more beads and tying off knots. Now, I already did a few knots before, just so you don't have to watch me do it, but I'm just going to go through a couple of beads and cut off my thread, because I already did some knots. Oops. So I hope for the beading part, guys, I was on camera. I really paid attention. So cut off your thread. Now, this part. We have a wire going up that we bent, and we have a wire going that way. Why didn't I want to bend the wire up? Because I wanted, as I was putting this on, it's going to cinch in the wire. So now that I have it here, I want the bend to sit right next to the other one. So I'm going to go right next to it like this. Bend it up. It's not quite where I want it, but no, not quite at all. So, whoops, let me just go around, and what I'll do is, see how they're going that way and that way? I'm just gonna make maybe an interesting bail like that. Because as I do that, see, it's making it, a second. Yeah, you know what? I'll make an interesting bail like that. Just twist them around. And what I'll do here, let me just cut off a lot of it here. You know what? We probably won't need our jump rings. Like that. And what I'll do with this, with my round nose, I'm just going to take the end and bend it like this. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Oh, that looks like a really interesting bail, actually. So what I'll do is I'm just going to manipulate the wires so that they touch each other. And because this isn't a smaller gauge, 18 gauge is pretty strong or thick wire. The more you play with it, the more work hardened it's going to be. So I just made 2 loops, and actually I like that bail. Just by twisting the wires together, makes it a little bit interesting. Cool. Did this one a little bit differently, but I don't like this piece the way it turned out. And of course I did the loop here, which I don't like. So I like this. And also I want to mention something. When you're putting a chain on here, you know what? Try to make things a little interesting, like when you display your jewelry or when you're giving your piece of jewelry. I bought a bunch of ribbon. This is like a very light champagne, which goes with the copper. And all you do is you just cut yourself off a piece, or don't cut it off yet. Put it through, and it just makes the piece, I find, very interesting. I love the ribbon for necklaces. So I don't like mine long, but some people do, so you can cut it long, and what they can do is manipulate this on how short or long they want their necklace, the way they tie it in the back. So I'm actually going to cut it right here, and that's it. That's the necklace part. And then, you know, tie it in a bow. You don't have to put clasps on it or anything. Or a little knot. Anyway, I would play around with it. But there you go. I really love this concept of the beads, and with a wire frame. I love it. I love the way the pendant turned out. See how we started 4 little beads, and you can just do whatever comes to mind. You can be so creative. It's a flat piece, but now it's not flimsy anymore. It's a nice sturdy piece that's going to last a long time, hopefully years. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you think someone might enjoy this video, go ahead and share it. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and I'll be more than happy to answer you. And that's it. We'll see you at the next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.